Hello, and welcome back to another empowering episode of Desi Diva Chronicles. I'm your host, Anaga Suresh, your go to success coach for Indian women living abroad. Today, I am super thrilled for our episode because I have a guest who's all about helping people like you and me live a healthy life without compromising Indian food in our lives abroad. Joining us is incredible Neha Shah, a nutritionist and founder of Diaspora Nutrition. Neha's work is changing how South Asians across the world approach food and nutrition. So, Neha, I'm so thrilled to have you here. Welcome to Desi Diva Chronicles.
Thank you so much, Anaga, for inviting me, and I'm looking forward for this fruitful conversation together.
Pleasure is all mine, Neha. And we have known each other for some time now, and I know for a fact that you are going to drop some amazing super knowledge that is going to change the life of all our listeners about food and Indian food specifically while they're living abroad. So let's dive right in. I would love to start with this question of what inspired you to start Diaspora Nutrition. Could you share a little bit about your journey and what was the motivation behind this incredible initiative?
Yes, I have been living in the US for almost 10 years now. And yes, like many immigrant Indians, I also faced disruption in health, like unexplained weight gain, sudden intolerance towards gluten, dairy, being affected by cystic acne, becoming pre diabetic over the years after moving from India to America. As I dwelled more and more into the subject, what was most striking was the absolute disparity between what I encountered from social media influencers and coaches and what I ate under the care of my mother, Nani, and Dadi. So now that compelled me to dwell deep into the food subject and to try to understand the reason behind the disparity and this gap between the food I used to eat and the food that I'm advised to eat.
Mm.
So I read and talked to my mother. That is when I became aware of the magnitude of the half truths and misleading facts about our traditional Indian foods.
Mm.
Inspired by time tested traditional insights, I took a leap from being a software engineer to becoming a nutritional practitioner. And
Mhm.
I gave birth to Diaspora Nutrition. It's an online sanctuary for culture relevant nutrition that speaks home to the Indians abroad. Diaspora
Yes.
Nutrition is like a love letter to my Indian genes. It's like a homage
Wow.
to my women ancestry of the family and the people carrying Bharat in their hearts.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring, Neha. Because, like you said, I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate with the changes that happens to them, especially if they're living in the US, because that's what I have experienced. That there's a lot of changes that comes with food, and you often don't know it's because of the food, because only what you see is your body is reacting in a different way. You have gained a lot of weight, you've started getting acne, which you never had before after teenage. You started losing hair, and you start developing dairy intolerance, certain food intolerance. I personally myself have felt that. And for you to connect with our roots, Indian roots, talk to your mother, and bring that value to us while you were trying to reinvent yourself, like I say with my community as well, like when you move abroad, you need to reinvent yourself. Like your past is, yes, that is important, but you need to reinvent yourself to fit into the new life that you have built in the foreign land. And you're doing an incredible job there, Neha. Thank you so much for doing what you do.
My pleasure. Thank you.
What unique challenges do people from South Asian diaspora have you seen facing while maintaining a healthy diet abroad? Because again, like I said, these are all symptoms that we can see, experience ourselves, like weight gain, acne, hair loss, all of it. But what unique other unique challenges have you seen South Asian people face while living abroad?
Um, if I talk with respect to the food and nutrition, is that there is a cultural disparity between, the food's availability, and there is a sense of food insecurity that they face. And it has been noted even in the research that immigrants face a lot of food insecurity when coming to US, not just Indian, even Mexican,
Mhm.
Latino, and all other immigrants across the world.
Wow.
Uh, Now, why is that? The food insecurity is not just the unavailability of the food, but is also about the degraded quality of the food,
Yeah, makes
right?
sense.
And so when we think that, yeah, now we have a lot of Indian supermarkets available around us. It's not like, back in the 20 years back where there was no availability of any Indian supermarkets. But now we have that luxury. But the foods that are available inside those stores, even in Costco or Whole Foods, are a very degraded quality of the same cultural foods that we used to eat.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
unknowingly, if we feel that, hey, I'm eating the same foods that I used to eat, roti, dal, chawal, ghee, and all those stuffs, but it's not, the quality is not the same,
Mm.
right? Since it has
Yeah.
been imported, and for the cost cutting, the methods of preparation or processing is varied in such a way
Yes.
the nutritional profile of every food matrix is declined.
Mhm.
So that is one of
Mm.
the challenges that Indian immigrants face. In fact, they're not even aware of this fault.
Yes, yes. I remember one of the posts you had in your on your socials about that melting sticks of butter is not ghee. It was a realization for a lot of people because what we have seen in India is our mothers make butter and you melt the butter, you get ghee. Here, because we are not able to make butter of our own, we just get butter from supermarkets and just melt it, think that is ghee. And this is something I remembered you speaking about on your socials, and I thought this is the right time to bring it up as well, because again, that's a big misconception.
Yes, yes. See, that's what that has that had been created by some food blogger or someone, right? And it became viral, and all the Indian families then started feeling not guilty about not having, homemade ghee.
Yeah.
But you cannot live in this mental illusion that just heating random sticks of butter is homemade ghee, and you tell yourself that, okay, this ghee is way better than another ghee, and continue to consume it. It's not
Mhm.
doing any good to your body the way our traditional cultured ghee does to our body, right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
whole point of having ghee is lost.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
True.
we need to correctify that, and find the local sources, find the authentic ingredients, food ingredients for our Indian meals, and that's how we can live, our life unrestricted.
Mm. Yeah. That's super valuable, Neha. That's very true. Yes. So another aspect is food is more of like an emotional thing. It has an element of emotion attached for us, for Indians in our culture. Unfortunately, a lot of South Asian foods are now labeled as unhealthy or it's heavy, and there are a lot of misconceptions around it. So, what tips would you give someone who feel homesick or who want to get that comfort in eating Indian food at its healthiest? Like, is there any aspect like that which you can share?
Sure. Answering this question, let me start with a question. What is your
Yeah.
comfort food?
My comfort food, I would say, being a South Indian, it's dosa. Any day, every day, dosa.
Right. So see, when I ask you about the comfort food, nobody is telling my comfort food is bhajia and samosa.
Yeah,
Right?
true,
So why are you
true.
even categorizing it that my comfort food is not healthy? Dosa is
Yeah.
healthy. Many
Yes.
of the people will always say some rice based meals, that my comfort food is, garam chawal with garam rasam, or my
Yes.
comfort food is
Yes.
that khichdi with kadhi.
Yes.
How
Or curd rice.
Yes, or curd rice. How are these not healthy,
Yeah. True.
right? So come out
Yep.
of that mindset. First of all we all, being the 90s kids, um, our mother did not feed us on samosa charts every day
Yeah.
or every weekend.
Yeah.
Even if we wanted that, we would have got a scolding that I don't have 5 rupees to give you every time just to eat a samosa,
That's true. That's true.
right? So this notion that Indian meals or comfort food is not healthy, we have to take that
Mhm.
out. You have to bring
Mhm.
in the mentality that it's nothing different than any other healthy food,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So think of this as a very, naturally inclined thought
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
any food that is coming from earth is healthy.
Mm.
Dosa has dal, methi seeds, and rice, which has
Nice.
been processed through fermentation, which
Yeah.
again increases the nutrition profile and
Yes.
not
Yes.
reduces
Absolutely.
it,
Yes.
right? And you're
Yeah.
getting freshly made, it's hot, it's made with love,
Yes.
inside the kitchen and not in a very angry mode.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called your comfort food.
Yes, absolutely. I love that answer, Neha. You said it so beautifully, because the food that we grew up eating as a 90s kid is never all those extra fried food or all the snacking food that we use nowadays, but the one that is, there's so much love in there. It's all good food, basically healthy food, and not anything like over fried or anything unhealthy. Having that said, what was your take on saying that South Asian food in general is heavy? Uh, because this is again one notion which is very common. If I eat proper Indian meals one time, I can't eat heavy for the rest of the day. It's something I've heard again and again. What is your take on that as well?
Yes, even I used to feel the same way. I cannot deny the fact that many people are going through this feeling, but I
Yeah.
want to, clarify here why are
Mhm.
your now Indian meals. When I'm talking about everyday ghar ka khana.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fancy items that have been made only during festivals or when guests are coming or when you are having a kitty party.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
talking about those stuffs. I'm
Yeah.
talking about our daily home cooked food, home
Yes.
cooked menu.
Mhm. Like
Now,
dal, chawal, roti,
dal chawal,
sabzi,
roti,
all that.
paratha, sabzi, rasam, dosa, idli, anything,
Yes.
stuffed
Okay.
paratha, aloo paratha, sattu paratha, uh,
Okay.
those kind of things, right?
Okay. Mm.
Why? And even these foods feel heavy to them sometimes. Why
Yes.
is it? Because first of all, uh, the quality of oil that we are cooking in is
Mhm.
cheap and rancid.
Ah.
Okay,
Okay.
so we have shifted from locally sourced, bull driven oil to this
Mm.
industrial vegetable oil like canola, safola, rice bran, soya bean, all these kind of
Yeah.
oil. This will make your even your healthy food heavy.
Mhm. Okay.
Second is the preparation of your food.
Mm.
We are moving away from our own traditional style of cooking. For a
Mhm.
very simple example, if you are having canned beans or
Mm.
you are just pressure cooking your lentils and beans, in a high heat, giving it like 5 to 6 whistles without even
Mhm.
soaking it.
Mm.
Okay?
So you're saying even the regular dentals like tur dal, we need to soak it for some time before cooking it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, if you
Ah,
remember
okay.
your mama, she at a night itself she used to soak the rice and dal that has to be prepared in the lunch the next day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then she used to sleep. So yes, your rice, dals, whether it's with skin, without skin, chole, rajma, anything, it has to be soaked for a proper amount of time, right? So that
Hmm.
doesn't feel heavy. Now, third thing, this is a preparation and then the cooking. Even the traditional
Hmm.
ways of cooking, when you are
Hmm.
pressure cooking it or if you are boiling it, you add a bay leaf inside it. People are not doing.
Yes. Ah.
They are just in the rush, right? It's always
Yes.
in the
Yes.
rush. Ek
Yes.
dala, dal dala, pani dala, band karo cooker, and that's it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You're not
Yeah.
giving a thoughtful intention behind it. That let me put some long, ilaichi, a bay leaf inside it, and then let it,
Mhm. Mm. Got it.
right? So
Got it.
these are the, yeah, traditional cultural practices that we are leaving, and it's making our food heavy.
Mm. Makes a lot of sense. Why it is different for us, like why we feel different. Having that said, I have one follow-up question for this.
Sure.
Meal prepping is a big thing for us millennials, at least, because like all of us are busy, we are busy with work, we basically don't have time for anything. So meal prepping is the latest trend among millennials for some time. What is your take on that?
Uh, See, your question that we are all busy and leading a very busy lifestyle, right? First thing is planning.
Hmm.
Planning your weekly food menu. I'm
Hmm.
not talking about Saturdays and Sundays, at least from Mondays to Fridays when you're working. Saturdays,
Yeah.
Sundays, you can, do something unplanned, just go with the flow, what
Yes.
you have in,
Yes.
taste, what
Yes.
the taste buds is craving that time. But
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, at least it should be planned.
Mm.
Okay. And plan in such a way that it's very easy to cook. Your
Yeah.
meals should be simple.
Yeah.
Because you are so busy and surrounded with so much work, you won't cook something very fancy,
Yep. Yep.
right? So, so that is one thing. Plan and keep it
Mhm.
simple.
Mhm.
Okay. And meal prepping, I I do suggest meal prepping, but my meal prepping is a bit different than the USA lens of meal prepping the whole meal itself. What
Mm.
we do is we prep the meal components.
Hmm.
Say suppose I tell you to drink chas after your lunch, buttermilk.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, you will say, I don't have the time to make buttermilk after every lunch and drink.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
buttermilk is something that doesn't need cooking. So you can
Yeah.
prepare it on Sundays for
Yeah.
5 minutes because it's just yogurt
Yeah.
mixed with water. It's not cooked.
Yes.
It doesn't require
Yes.
any heat,
Yes.
right? And then in the morning,
Yes.
you can place it outside till it becomes room temperature. At the lunchtime, you can drink it.
Hmm.
So this is one kind of meal component preparation that we did. Second,
Hmm.
the batters on Sunday, fermented batters or chilla
Hmm.
batter.
Yes.
So that in the
Yes.
night time, when evening time, when your work is done, but you don't have time, the batter is
Yeah.
ready. All you need to
Yes.
do is just spread it over your tawa,
Yes.
have your
Yeah.
dosa.
You're
To
so right there. You're so true there because, like you said, I started planning my meals after coming to the US because I was finding it hard to cook, like you mentioned. If I have it on the plan, I know no matter how busy I am, either me or my husband will know, like, okay, this is what we are cooking. It's just a 5 minute thing. Or we would plan our meal time around it. Like, we know, like, we'll have to start cooking 1 hour before or one and a half before hour before. And batter is so true. That is my favorite thing to do because if dosa batter or chila batter is ready, dinner or breakfast is sorted for a week.
yes,
It
exactly, right?
saves a lot of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're not hungry and you're not putting something, which you will regret afterwards.
Yeah.
And you're having a comfort food and still healthy.
Yes. Yes. So basically, you're talking about all the meal prepping, which again our mothers and grandmothers were doing because technically they were doing the same, right?
Yes, yes. Because the notion, this that we are very busy lifestyle has been forever. Even our mothers were busy,
Yes.
right? This is not
Yes.
something
True.
new that is happening.
True,
The
true.
only new thing that is happening is that we are moving away from our own culture and traditions. And second,
Mm-hmm.
we're not able to handle it well. The stress
Mm, yeah.
was always there. The stress is always
Yeah.
there in my life, in your life. But how well are we able to handle it? Is it affecting our daily choices that we make?
Mm.
Right? This is
Amazing,
something that we
amazing.
need to ponder instead of only just crying about it.
Yes, yes. I love this because that is the truth. We're just making it as an excuse
Yeah.
for not doing the right things. Yes, I love it, Neha. You pointed out what is a wrong that we are doing. Like we are just using busy schedule or stress as an excuse. So, what small sustainable changes would you recommend we start implementing in our day to day life to make healthy diet and lifestyle a practice?
First thing first, make your pantry very simple.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We are actually, the bigger the pantry, even the biggest pantry in your US homes is overcrowded, that you don't have any space
Yeah.
for any other stuff.
Yes.
This
Yes.
itself should give you a clear picture that how much of the packet foods you are eating,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I'll just give a comparison because
Mm-hmm.
always the comparison, helps people to make better decisions or at least to think in a very clear mind.
Mm-hmm.
Before, okay, when people say that Indian meals are so elaborate and it takes so much of time to cook, my mother used to be in the kitchen all the time to cook so much of food. Okay, if you're saying that, it means our mother's storage room or refrigerator should be very huge, but it was not. Remember,
Yeah.
with a small Whirlpool refrigerator. Later,
Yes.
only later, we got a big refrigerator, single door.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Here,
And even the refrigerator would be half empty. We just had two or three utensils. That's all. It will never be filled like
yeah,
now.
only for the doodh and vegetables and
Yeah.
fruits if it is, getting
Yes.
rotten.
Yeah.
Apart from that, nothing, or chutneys that we used to store. That's
Yes.
it. But now we have the largest walk-in pantry. We have the two-door refrigerator. We have an extra refrigerator in our garage, and everything is jam-packed.
Yes.
And we are
Yes.
still not nutritionally rich, right?
Yes. Yes. The irony.
So yes, so for sustainable change, raid your own pantry,
That's
okay?
beautiful.
And then replace it with local foods.
Mm.
So get
Okay.
atta locally, get your ghee
Mm.
locally. If you don't have time to cook, spend your money to get the traditional ones. Time and
Wow.
money is always inversely proportion. If you say, I don't
Yes.
have time to make ghee, fine, invest your money to get a good ghee,
Mm.
right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Uh, so that is one thing you can do. You can always, switch your pantry to the local and traditional foods.
Mhm.
Then you plan, make it simple, and
Mm.
just do it, consistently.
Mm.
This will save
Awesome.
your, yeah, this will save the dollars also, and you will be having much high quality food than before. And you will realize that, over time, even after 1 to 2 months of doing this, you will realize that you don't have that urge to, eat something very junk. You will
Mm.
not have that urge because real wholesome food is so intelligent and it will so intelligently work inside your body that it will
Okay.
tell you intuitively. Your intuition only will tell not to eat.
Ah, interesting.
Yes, your body is so intelligent, it knows how to work,
Yep. Yep.
right? But you have to
Yeah.
give that effort and time for that change to happen. And within
Mm.
no time, you will realize, what? I'm not even, those packet foods are not even talking to me the way it was talking to me before. So
True. True.
now your trips to Costco where you have $200 bill every weekend or your trips to Whole Foods will reduce.
Yes.
You'll just go window shopping and come back with an empty cart.
That is awesome, Neha. I really love it. This is a very actionable step like anybody can do it. And at the same time, this will give you a lot of impact as well, like very tiny change, huge impact. And when you speak about your body knows, I totally resonate with that. Like I am a total believer that your gut intuition, your body knows to react to any situation or any person, any work that you're doing, anything. And eating healthy food directly applies to that gut intuition as well, like the gut health we speak
The
about, right?
gut and your mind, everything, right? So now the nutrition is holistic, and even the Western philosophy has identified it that the
Mm,
food doesn't just affects your body; it affects your mind also. Now you will see that even your mental health clarity is improving because you're eating
wow.
good food. And I can't tell
Mm,
you how much has been, we as a family have been also seeing the benefits. There was a time where we were not taking decisions in a good way. Like even my husband was
mm,
not able to make decisions for the family or for his own career life in a very
mm,
clear path way. But the
mm,
good, as soon as we started eating good food, after
mhm.
6 months, 10 months, or year after, we saw a huge difference. We are so calm. We are making right decisions. We are able to think about it intentionally and make the right decisions for our kids, for our family, without getting into that argument. And even if some life, throws a stress in front of us, we are able to deal with it more nicely than before. This is all the magic of the good nutrition that you eat.
Wow. Wow. I think it also explains a lot on why our generation is not able to take good decisions, or are not calm, or are not at the best of their mental health compared to our previous generations as well. Because the lifestyle, the main thing, the food is not great right now. It was, the quality was much better previously, or at least they knew how to cook it properly. They were doing it the right way. And we have down the lane disrupted the right way of doing the cooking
Correct.
and
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah. So food is one of the important factors, even for physical
Yes.
health, mental health,
Yes.
well-being.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Next question is the most asked question from our audience. What are some healthy snacking options you would recommend someone after moving abroad? And this is specifically for the time around 4 p.m. to
Yeah.
6 p.m., because that is when a lot of us tend to feel hungry. We are almost done with our day at work, but we are not yet there at the dinner time. What would you recommend?
Yeah, this is such a good thing because always 4 to 5 p.m. is something everyone gets hit with the food cravings. They are hungry, and that's the time when, if nothing is planned or nothing is around them, you will go and have a bag of chips or something else, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, to first of all control the cravings, how to deal with the cravings from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. is to have a good heavy lunch.
Okay.
Okay, don't
Mhm.
diet in the lunchtime. Have
Mm,
your complete food in a
okay.
as elaborative manner as possible, because
Mhm.
the sun is at the highest, that so your digestive fire is also at the peak. So
Mm,
your body will allow to consume a little bit more quantity than other timings.
mm,
Okay, so when you
yeah.
have your heavy lunch,
Mhm.
the craving for your evening snack will reduce. It is coming because
Yeah.
you are not eaten in your full capacity, or even if like whatever your body accepts at that time, you did not
Mm,
feed your body that much, and that's why that
mm,
hungry pangs,
yes.
arise.
Yes.
You complete
Yes.
lunch that time. Now, what are the snack options that you can have? I
Mhm.
will tell you two liquid based snack options. One is your
Okay.
chas, buttermilk, that you can have,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And that you can carry in your thermos and have it in your
Yes.
office.
Yeah.
Again, second is coconut water mixed with
Mm,
some basil seeds or chia seeds.
okay.
Okay, so soak your chia seeds inside it so it will fluff up, right, inside the
Huh.
coconut water itself.
Mm,
So now it is added fiber with the coconut water,
yes.
and that will keep
Yeah.
you full until the time that you just reach home and start preparing for the dinner.
Yes.
Now, if you're
Yes.
someone who wants to, munch on something crunchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
you have roasted makhana and
Mm.
peanuts.
Okay.
Always have peanuts with your makhana. Makhana itself is not going to fill you up. Peanuts has great fats, so it will fill
Mm-hmm.
you up without going overboard.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the
So mix
combination
makhana and
and
peanuts
peanuts, yeah,
together.
roasted in ghee or dry roasted like that,
Okay. Yeah.
till it becomes very crunchy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Second is in the Indian markets, there is one packet called chana jol, if you have heard of it. It's the flattened black gram, like
Okay.
a black gram flakes, you can call
Oh,
it.
yes. 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 Now I understand. I
Chana,
think it's
chana,
called something
chana
different.
flakes, you can say.
Huh. Yes. Chana
So
flakes.
yeah, so that you can have with some, salt, green chilies, cucumber, onion, and pack it in
Okay.
your, snack box, and it will feel like a chaat or something crunchy, something chatpata, that kind of thing. So that is also
Yes.
something that you can eat in your snack time. Third item is some laddu. Don't
Mm.
shy away
Okay.
from laddu. All
Okay.
halwa.
Okay.
Yeah, you can prepare your halwa over Saturdays and Sundays and carry it
Yeah.
with you in the office. Just if you have a microwave, you can heat it up to have, something a warm kind of halwa. Or you can
Mm.
just take a laddu. Peanut jaggery laddu is good. Sesame seeds and jaggery laddu or chikki is good. Any
Mm.
moong dal halwa is good, right? It has all goods. It has only three stuffs in it: ghee, moong dal, and sugar. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that sugar is way better than the sugar coming in the packet with added
Yes.
preservatives and all those stuffs,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
right? So yeah,
Yes.
these are the very quick stuff that you can have. You will enjoy the different taste, whatever you are craving for that day. If you're craving sweet,
Yes.
you can have your laddu halwa. If you're craving chatpata, you can have your makhana peanut chaat or this, chana jol chaat. If you're not very hungry, you just want to drink hydrating something in the summer, especially, you can have your coconut water and chas. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I think our listeners are going to really enjoy this part. They have a big takeaway here.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about having a very heavy lunch, I feel one of the biggest hesitation for people to have a heavy lunch while working is because they feel sleepy if they eat heavy. And considering what you said about preparing it the right way, using the quality ingredients, the right ingredients, I don't think you we would have that afternoon slump or feel like taking a nap after having a heavy lunch. Is that right? Or what is your take on that?
Yes, you see, the sleepiness after the lunch is not just because of the lunch that you are eating. You have to look into the consideration that how is your whole day going, right?
Mm, okay.
What are you having at other times of the day also affects that.
Okay.
When are you sleeping? How is your sleep pattern? Are you sleeping on
Yeah.
time without bombarding yourself into the blue screens all the time?
Mm,
Right?
yes.
So it's not just one absolute reason. It's always relative. The relativity
Yeah.
matters. Okay.
Yeah.
And second, heavy lunch, when I say, it's not eat it in a quantity that you are just about to go into burp. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It means the all the elements of your thali should be there. You should not over prioritize on protein and try to cut down the carbs or not have vegetables with it. Not like that. There should be a traditional combination of the meal present in
Mm-hmm.
your lunch, and that is what makes it wholesome and heavy, because that kind of lunch will take you about 3 to 4 hours to digest. So
Okay.
you will see that, okay, when at 12 o'clock or 12:30 you are eating it, it's only by 4 o'clock now you will start that sensation that, okay, am I feeling hungry again? But not like previous, that by 3 o'clock you are dead hungry, and by 4 o'clock you are like, okay, I want something to eat now.
Yeah.
That
Makes a lot of sense.
uncontrollable feeling will go away
Mm,
because it will
yeah.
take exactly 4 hours to digest.
Yes. Yes. That's beautiful. This is again something I think a lot of us don't know, are not aware of.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing that as well.
Thank you. And I would also, like to add one more thing. You can always, go
Yes.
for 5 to 10 minute walk, even in your office floor. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, to digest those food, because anyways, after any meal, you are not supposed to just sit, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You are supposed to, move a bit. So even five
Okay.
to 10 minutes of walk is enough. From one floor to another floor, you take the stairs, you just do time pass, open up and down, right? So that you
Yeah.
can take out those 5 to 8 minutes aside and do it, and
Okay.
come back to your desk and yeah, attend your meetings.
Awesome. Awesome. I think this is again another small, sustainable, actionable step that we can take in our everyday life. Another interesting question, which a lot of our audience have, is about inflammation. And it's something we've been hearing a lot about for the last couple of years. Is there any way we can identify the food that causes inflammation to us, and avoid it? Or what is your take on that, like food causing inflammation and how we can recognize it?
Again, see, inflammation is caused not just by food, it is also caused by stress. It is also caused by overdoing the exercising. It,
Mm.
it can be also caused by improper sleep, right?
Mm.
And all
Yeah.
these things together affect your digestion of foods. We
Yes.
think that it's the food that is creating inflammation,
Yes.
right? But again, as I said, relativity matters. The
Mm.
whole picture matters. Now, when you're already inflamed, so yes, how to identify the foods and all those stuffs. First thing first, never start from removing gluten and dairy. Okay, that is
Oh,
very, or
wow.
I'll just go sugar free, I'll go gluten free, I'll go dairy free to for this
Yeah.
10-day gut reset, or to lower down the inflammation and all this.
Yeah.
The starting point itself is wrong.
Mm.
Your
Oh
starting,
my God. This is so new for me.
yeah, and that's why we tend to go under this, so restrictive diets, and then it's not sustainable for us. And then what are you
Yes.
going to do after every 3 months? Are you going to do that 10-day reset?
Mm.
Right? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, what
Yeah.
should be the starting point to reduce the inflammation, right? Your starting point should be cut down the processed foods.
Mm.
Cut down your ultra processed food consumption like biscuits, chips, donuts, mayonnaise from coming from the bottle.
Yeah. Cup noodles.
Yeah, cup noodles and many other stuff. I mean, now there are so many number of packets
Yeah, we can't name it.
all on my fingers.
Yeah. True. True that.
Yes, so you cut down on that, automatically you are cutting down, low quality of oil, or foodstuffs that is coming from industries, and all those, unreliable dairy sources that's inside that
Mhm.
product. Automatically, everything is gone,
Yep. Yep.
right?
True.
So now what to stick to? Stick to, again, local traditional food sources, right? Plan and cook at home as much as possible,
Mm.
right? And that itself will take care of your inflammation. Movement, walking after every meals, doing some
Mm.
sort of exercises, right? And you don't have to do it every day. Like I can see people, they just put powders in the morning, shake this powder, electrolyte powder, green powder,
Yeah. Supplements.
yeah, right. And they are, killing themselves every day with that 1 hour of gymming,
Mm.
right? You are compensating it. And that's why you
Yeah.
feel like, okay, you are slim trim because you are killing yourself exercising so much. But honestly, you don't need that.
Mm.
You need movement, but you don't need to beat yourself every day in the gym. Because now you
Yeah.
will be having local traditional and, culturally aligned cooking methods.
Hmm.
The need for beating yourself up and going to do that exercise will also reduce.
Yeah. True. Makes sense.
Yes, the exercise quantity and quality will also improve,
Mm.
right? And that itself will reduce your inflammation,
Mm.
right? And something
Awesome.
that, yeah, and that's something that our mothers and fathers used to do, is that before starting the day off, they used to pray to the god. There is a mandir, right, with very silence
Yes.
atmosphere. There
Yes.
diya, batti, agarbatti, and
Yes.
all the stuff.
Yes.
Now people think, okay, I'm not that religious. Remember, this is not a religious stuff. This is nothing
Mm.
but what the Western philosophy is teaching you. Meditate, focus on your breathe. What are we doing? We are doing exactly the same thing. Okay, you
Yeah.
want to do it in front of a figure or something, but then just out in the nature you can do,
Yeah.
right? That diya, that jyot is there for a particular reason, because the fire element is something that goes to the divine powers and bring it inside.
Mm.
So you have to just sit in the silence, focus on your
Mm.
breath, and that will lower down your cortisol and your inflammation.
Wow.
I'll tell you
Wow.
how important is that aspect of our traditional Indian homes.
Mm.
Before starting your
Wow.
in the silence, in that calm zone, calm yourself also down, right?
Mm.
Deep breaths, just meditate. Or in my Hindi language, I call it sadhana,
Mm.
right? We just do
Yeah.
that sadhana for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And my cortisol levels are so low, I don't get bloated even after Diwali. So that
Awesome.
year I did not make any content. How to beat bloating after Diwali? There is no use of it.
I love this. Yeah.
So all these
So,
together will work to lower down our inflammation and
mm,
bloating and skin and hair health and everything. Everything will come together slowly, slowly.
awesome. Awesome. Wow. Speaking about not beating yourself up by going to the gym every day, I would like to add a related question there. While traveling, there's again this stress of my diet is going to go off chart when I travel. My weight is going to go back up. Whatever I lost is going to come back up when I travel. This is an issue a lot of us face. What would you recommend while we are traveling?
See, again, there has to be a mental shift. You are not on a diet, first of all. When you're eating your regular home cooked foods, do you feel that you're on diet?
No.
No. When our parents used to go travel for and took us in the summer vacations, do they felt very abrupt? Oh my God, what are we going to do?
Mm,
No,
no.
right?
No.
The feeling comes because you're always living in the duality. Either I'm on the diet or I'm not on the diet.
Mm. So you're trying to say it's more of like a lifestyle, and it is
Yes,
not a short term or a thing that needs to be called termed as a diet. It's just a part of your lifestyle.
yeah. Eating good food does. Don't you think eating good food should be habitual?
Yes, yes,
It should be
absolutely. It should
normal.
be as habitual as brushing your teeth every day.
Exactly. But brushing your teeth is called healthy. It gives off
Yeah.
results. But you're not saying that it's healthy, right? So
Yep.
you're not living
Yep.
in that duality.
Yep.
When it comes regarding food, we should not live in that duality that in the home I'm on the diet. So, yes, what I
Mm,
need to do when I'm not on the diet. First of all,
true.
eating home cooked, local, traditional, unprocessed foods is not a diet. It's very much part of our normal, healthy lifestyle without
Yes.
labeling
Yes.
it that it's healthy,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
now when we go in a for travel, you will find that you are not bothered much because the 90% of the time when you are in control, you are in the charge, right? You are
Yes.
doing
Yes.
it so well that
Yep.
when the situations or the environment is something that you are not controlling, it should not
Mm,
bother you much,
yeah. True.
right? And again, but there are some tips and tricks. You will be
Mhm.
become so more, aligned with your own body needs, that you won't go, and stuff up your stomach with all the stuff that you get.
Mm.
Right? Again, this is a process. Since you're doing
Yeah.
it for a long time, now that one week of travel or one weekend of travel is not going to affect your mindset at all,
Yeah.
right? But then
Yeah.
what to do, or what are the options that we can have? Again, coconut water is something is available everywhere,
Yeah.
right? You can have
Yeah.
that coconut water in between the meals to hydrate yourself and to keep you full, that you don't, go and have something that doesn't fit right into your stomach.
Yes.
Another thing is just to have simple food option choices. Like ramen noodles are good. It's a soupy noodle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming with
Yeah.
some chicken broth. If you're a non-veg, you can
Yeah.
have that as simple food as it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Vegetarians can have chipotle,
Yeah.
which is, very simple and good enough. It's nothing very
Yes.
spicy or heavy or fried, that kind of thing.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can carry
True.
fruits with you uh, all the time. You can
Yeah.
carry some of the packet snack foods also, like I said, chana jol, that flattened chana flakes.
Yes. Yes.
You can carry that.
Peanuts.
Peanuts, makhanas, you can
Yeah.
have those things. So I think much major part of the travel food is also very similar that we eat at our home. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2 meals only that will be very different. And but for that you don't have to beat yourself up and you don't have to worry, because when you're back home, you're back in your regular, very much healthy routine that you set for yourself. That
True.
root, that neve is strong enough at your home that outside factors won't affect you much.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. So beautiful, Neha. You shared it so so beautifully.
Thank you so much. I'm glad people will find it helpful and you are enjoying it most of all.
Yes, I am very much enjoying this conversation we are having now. So now that we talked a lot about food, about travel, about our lifestyle and everything, I would like to ask, what impact are you hoping to make in the South Asian community through the work that you're doing?
Liberating and uplifting is what Indian food culture means to me. So the
Uh-huh.
message I want to give out is that our main purpose is to evolve, not to
Mm.
seek validation, right? So to know that self acceptance and cultural appreciation is an internal process that's got nothing to do with what's going on the trends outside, right? So just honor your cultural heritage, connect to your roots, because this is the only thing that will make you self confident
Mm.
as an immigrant abroad.
Mm. Awesome. That is so beautiful. And it definitely resonates so deeply with me that it's an evolution that we are going through. And while we are evolving, we need to stay connected to our roots, to our culture. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much we deny it, there is a huge part of us linked to our culture.
Of
Like,
course.
yes.
Yeah, you see Diwali celebrating in New York, White House. Why?
Yeah.
Right? So people are connected to their culture, and it feels, it makes them happy. It makes their we celebrate, saying that yes, South Asians are represented now across all the
Yeah.
platforms. It means
Yes.
you are never, different from your roots. You're never different from your culture.
Yes. Yes. And in fact, we should be very proud of our diverse culture. Like we spoke about, in different parts of India, the kind of food that we eat is very different based on the availability, based on what was cultivated in the different parts of India. But no matter which culture food we follow, that lifestyle or the system of eating healthy food, a good diet lifestyle, was just a natural way. Like, it was always there in our culture, but it was pulled away through all the westernization and because of the trends as well.
Yes, and very good point that you mentioned, because I would not call this as unity in diversity. In fact, I would call this as diversity in unity.
Wow, that's
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah, we were one civilization, and
Yeah.
in that there were diversity. The way of worshipping is different, the way of cooking is different, the food ingredients are different, right? But we,
The climate is different, the landscape is different.
yes, but we still are united.
Awesome, awesome. This conversation was so incredible, Neha. Thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your invaluable insights. And I really love what you do. And I know our listeners will be walking away with a ton of inspiration and knowledge, which they can implement right away after our podcast. And for all of us listening, please remember that these are all the small positive changes which will make the huge impact, which will bring you closer to your life that you're trying to create abroad. So stay connected to your roots, keep evolving, keep moving forward, and remember, you are capable of so much more than you know. Thank you so much, Neha, once again, for your time, for your wisdom, and for inspiring all of us today.
Thank you so much for having me, having such a thoughtful, questions, and putting it out in front of the audience. And whoever it is meant for will listen and take away, the value from it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you, everyone, for listening. See you next Wednesday.